Day two in Seattle. Let's go. So it started off with this hairdryer situation where it couldn't basically plug in the bathroom in my hotel room. So at first I was like, oh, the only plug is right there on the wall. So I had to bend down on my knees, and I was like, wow, I haven't been on my knees in a long time. But then I discovered that there was a plug in my lamp, so I could just basically plug it in there and dry my hair properly. Otherwise, well, it really was uncomfortable to do it on my knees. Anyway, so once that was done, I was down to go visit Starbucks today. Yeah, there is a roastery, which I keep saying rotisserie, not the same thing. Anyway, I stopped by a place where you can't really see, but it was kind of an animated ship. That was pretty nice, representative of Seattle, I think. And then I stopped by for a little quick breakfast at this bakery that I had no idea where this came from. Anyway, but there was a couple of them, so I decided to stop there to see what it was about. And this is a rotisserie, no, not rotisserie. See, I keep saying it. The roastery, Starbucks Reserve in Seattle, because Seattle is actually the home of Starbucks where it started. And so I went in and I had booked 2 different activities, including one tour of the place and as well as a coffee tasting and learning how the coffee process happens in terms of preparing coffee. So it was pretty interesting, and there was a bunch of items that you could shop at. Now roasting, which is me when I sunbathe. Yeah, the first one was the coffee tasting one. So we learned about the process of really doing coffee properly, the different methods, tasting the different palettes, the different flavors that are available. And we had an activity where the goal essentially was to recreate the smell of the coffee and the taste of the coffee based on different ingredients that we had, such as citrus, some nuts or some spices, chocolate, etc. It was pretty cool. And I want to shout out to Alex from LA, who was my buddy through both activities, the coffee tasting one as well as the tour, which you're now seeing. So they actually roast coffee in-house, some small batches. And we had a tour basically that took us everywhere around the roastery, including the story of how it came to be and the fact that it was a car manufacturer before it turned into a Starbucks roastery. We got to see the process and how the bean of a coffee starts and how it is roasted or what it becomes when it's roasted. This is actually a panel that they took from New York City, from the train station, and they repurposed for Starbucks, which was pretty cool to see because it kind of gave that train station vibe. And then after the tour was over, it was time to get some drink. There's an ube seasonal drink that I got there that was pretty cool, inspired by the Japan roastery. And after that was done, I went to the public market center to kind of walk through the city because it was beautiful. And I came across this huge wall or area covered with gum everywhere. That was a thing, but I think it was on the map. And then it was right next to a selfie museum, and I decided to give it a chance and check it out. Not gonna lie, going to a museum for selfies when you're by yourself is kind of weird. But, I give it a shot, and I was like, let me try. Not me getting a DoorDash notification in the middle of my screen recording, but yeah, pretty much they kind of give you a clicker that you connect through Bluetooth to your phone, and you can take a bunch of selfies, and that's what I did. I was testing out. There's a bunch of lamps that you, ring lights that you can install your phone on, and you can grab a couple of pics. After that was done, I went back to, the shore next to the water, where I had a really weird interaction with a homeless person who really wanted to give me a fist bump. But, I guess that happens in life. But it was beautiful out there, and it was nice to walk around. Although, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of tired at that point. I had reached my 10,000 steps per day, but my feet hurt. So I was like, okay, let me kind of go around, have a look, and then I'm gonna go rest at home a little bit because I had a little activity in the evening. So after seeing everything, I decided to go back to my hotel, relax a bit, nap, charge my phone, grab some pho for dinner. Cute little area or restaurant that was close to my hotel, and then I was off to the Space Needle to go up, where I sat down on the bench in front of the Space Needle, and a rat ran right by my feet. So that was fun. Anyway, the tour, you're seeing a Lego tower, replica basically of the Space Needle. And when I saw the Space Needle, I was like, I've seen bigger. Which is something I hear once in a while. Anyway, but once I took the elevator all the way up, it was a beautiful sight. I really wanted to see the sunset. However, as you can see, it was kind of cloudy. So I basically stuck around for about, I want to say an hour, just to kind of people watch and view the shores on either side, because it's a great 360 view, as a matter of fact. So it was fun to have a look at it. And also, I looked down. I think first time in my life that I had vertigo, to be honest, because Well, it's quite the height. But what's really, really cool though about the tower is that you can obviously walk on the top floor and kind of go around it. But if you go down a floor at the top of the tower, so one down, it actually rotates, and it's a restaurant that you can sit at, and it rotates 360 very slowly, which is pretty cool. So right now you're seeing we switched over to the bottom place, and my camera is not moving, I'm not moving, but it's slowly but surely rotating around, which is a great view. If you have a fear of heights, this gets you even more dizzy, so kind of FYI. But it was a pretty cool thing to just like basically sit there and go around the city. Once I was back down, I decided to head over to a bar that was recommended by my friend from the night before. And I forgot to film anything because I was too socially nervous and anxious. Anyway, when I finally got home at 11:45-ish, Legally Blonde was on NPV, which I ended up watching all the way till when I fell asleep. And that pretty much wraps up day 2 in Seattle.